Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I want to make like a review, or at least give my thoughts on the DIO, a Decade DIO 1983 to 1993 CD set. So now, yeah, they finally made a CD version of this, as it was only like exclusively vinyl. They really released this like in March, I think, or maybe April, but obviously includes the first 6 DIO albums from Holy Diver all the way to Strange Highways. Holy Diver, The Last in Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil, Lock Up the Woods, and Strange Highways. So you just open it up, just like that. And there you have Holy Diver. I mean, all of these are kind of basically the same thing. A disc, and then like a little sheet of paper. I mean, sometimes it has lyrics, sometimes just kind of images related to the album. You see there, you can see the lyrics of Sacred Heart. It's like one of the only ones that has it. Thing with Dream Evil is, surprisingly, this one just has all the fools sailed away instead of a Dream Evil, the title track. I don't know why, but okay, Lock Up the Wolves is like the only one to actually have like all of the lyrics, but even then you can like barely read a thing. Like, you have to get really up close to read them. Even now, putting them really close to me, I can kind of see some of the lyrics, but even then it's so hard to see. Strange Highways. Yeah. I think this is honestly a pretty neat collection. I mean, the Rhino website sells this for $60 on it at the Target website. For $35. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Target. Ultimately, I think it is a good way to get these albums. The size of these, here I have Magica, like standard. I think it's one of the original copies, or at least just a standard jewel case. It basically is the size of a jewel case, besides like the part that opens it up, or like the panel part. The box, although is just slightly bigger, than obviously the jewel case is all longer, so when displaying it, you probably either want this at the front, or at the beginning of the collection, or at the end of the collection, I guess. All they just sound great. I mean, I guess this is more like a personal gripe, but I really wish they did include like lyrics, just like a little lyric sheet. Like, imagine, like, you already have this entire collection. Want to just like add like a big lyric book, like at least give each album 2 pages for all the lyrics. I mean, they already have like Lock Up the Wolves, like everything already in one, like all together. But ultimately, I think it's harmless. And yeah, I mean, I've already gotten a bunch of CDs before without any of the lyrics, although I do feel like that should be the standard, but you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter all too much. I do think these cases probably could have been thickened up a slight bit. Like, these just seem really, like, I can just rip this now. Obviously I'm not going to, but it does feel like you could probably rip these cases really easily. But I mean, you are supposed to leave them in the box, so it doesn't really matter in the box. You know, it does feel nice, does feel at least somewhat firm and sturdy, so ultimately it doesn't matter. If you don't have the first 6 albums, I would say you should probably buy this, unless obviously you want like all of them in a jewel case. But personally, I just kind of collect if I'm able to like get them. There's somewhat no consistency in my like CD collection. I mean, most of them are jewel cases, but some of them aren't. But yeah, ultimately, I do recommend you get it. As I said, I found it in the Target website for $35, and the Rhino's like $60, which makes sense. I mean, it's 6 discs for $10. I mean, that's a good deal. But then with the Rhino website, the shipping, if you obviously shipping, and then taxes just makes it a lot more. Now the shipping is removed if you spend like over $100 or over, but if you don't, then it kind of does cost a lot. But personally, yeah, I would recommend this purchase. The vinyl version does include the Evil Eyes, the original Evil Eyes from the Holy Diver B-side. Unfortunately, not even like Holy Diver includes it as an extra track, which is a bit weird because with the other box set that includes basically everything after, I think, which is, once I forgot what album came directly after Strange Highways. I think it was Angry Machines, I'm not sure, but basically every studio album after, all the way to Master of the Moon, Magica, like included, or at least in that version, in that box set version, the Magica disc did include Electra, while the vinyl version also included it, but I think it was like separate on its own like vinyl thing. But it doesn't really matter. I already have the Holy Diver Super Deluxe, which does include the Evil Eyes, like, original version for the Holy Diver. The cover art, yeah, it looks amazing. It's made by the same guy who's basically done a bunch of the modern artwork. I think Killing the Dragons, he worked on the 2019 remaster cover of that, although I think the 2019 remaster of Killing the Dragon, that artwork looks ugly. In my opinion, at least, Murray does look pretty off. The Super Deluxe for Holy Diver, you did get a picture disc for The Last in Line. But yeah, I do think this is ultimately a great artwork, and I was originally gonna complain why you haven't got one for basically the rest of the albums, but then I realized that was like what I talked about earlier with the Magica and Electro thing, and like the Evil Eyes. But yeah, personally, I would recommend you purchasing this, but you know, that's all up to you. I'm not really qualified to do that. I'm just kind of spilling my thoughts all over this, or thoughts about this. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day or night.